What's happening to U.S. tourism in 2025 is nothing short of a crisis, and the entire world is watching as some of America's most iconic destinations crumble before our eyes. Empty hotels, shuttered casinos, deserted beaches. This is not a temporary setback, it's a collapse that's reshaping local economies, jobs, and the very future of tourism in the U.S. Today, we're diving deep into the 10 states hit hardest by this unprecedented tourism crash. Stay with me to find out if your favorite destination is on the list and why the ripple effects could impact every American. Let's set the scene. Across the country, the tourism industry, once a powerhouse of growth, is now in sharp decline. Hotels that used to be packed to the brim stand empty. International travelers, especially from key countries like Canada and Japan, are disappearing. This means less spending in restaurants, entertainment venues, and local shops. The economic fallout is hitting hard, not just tourism companies, but entire communities that rely on these visitors for their livelihoods. First up, Nevada, home to the legendary Las Vegas Strip. Once a beacon for millions of visitors each year, the city now faces a dramatic downturn. Las Vegas, known as the entertainment capital of the world, is now showing deep cracks. Hotel occupancy rates have plummeted to their lowest in decades, with some resorts reporting less than 50% capacity. Casino floors, once bustling with energy, now echo with silence. Gaming revenues have dropped by over 20% compared to pre-crisis levels. And iconic venues like the Bellagio and Caesar's Palace have laid off hundreds of workers. Local business owners, from souvenir shops to restaurants, are struggling to survive. Many have closed their doors for good, while others share stories of losing lifelong savings. The impact goes beyond casinos. The entertainment industry, shows, concerts, and nightlife has been devastated, leaving thousands of performers and staff without work. Families dependent on tourism are facing tough choices, with food banks reporting record demand. Experts warn this may be a permanent shift. If Las Vegas can't recover, the entire state's economy could face a long-term crisis. Graphs show a sharp decline in visitor numbers, and economists predict it could take years to bounce back. Next, California, the Golden State. While it still leads the nation in tourism spending, the cracks are showing. International visitors, especially from Canada and Asia, are staying away in record numbers. Theme parks like Disneyland and Universal Studios have seen attendance plummet, with some rides and attractions shuttered. National parks, once bustling, now echo with emptiness. "We've never seen it this quiet," says a Yosemite Park official. The wine country is also suffering, with Napa Valley reporting a 30% drop in visitors. According to the California Travel Association, over 100,000 tourism jobs have been lost statewide. The state's sky-high living costs and rising hotel prices are pushing tourists toward more affordable destinations. "Families just can't afford a California vacation anymore," says a local tourism board member. Even major cities like San Francisco and Los Angeles are feeling the pinch, with hotel revenues dropping and iconic attractions operating at a fraction of their capacity. Could California's tourism boom be slowing down for good? For thousands of workers and small businesses, the answer may already be clear. Florida's tourism industry is facing its toughest challenge yet. International visitors, especially Canadians, have all but vanished, leaving the state's famous attractions eerily quiet. Cruise lines, once bustling with tourists, now sit idle at port, costing the state billions in lost revenue. Theme parks in Orlando and beyond are reporting record low attendance, with many rides closed and staff furloughed. Small business owners in Miami Beach and Key West are struggling to survive, with many forced to shut their doors for good. The numbers are staggering. Flight bookings are down by 70%, and the state faces a projected $2.1 billion shortfall. In response, local government and the tourism board are holding emergency press conferences, promising relief funds and new marketing campaigns to lure visitors back. But for now, the future of Florida's tourism remains uncertain, as empty beaches and shuttered attractions become the new normal. Before we continue, here's something every traveler or expat should seriously consider. This video is sponsored by Amazing Talker. Want to speak a new language fast without memorizing grammar books or wasting hours on generic apps? Imagine this. You can now learn one-on-one just for you, with a real native speaker right from your laptop or phone anytime, anywhere. With Amazing Talker, you'll choose your own tutor. Set your schedule and learn exactly what you need. No boring rules, no pressure, just real conversations and fast results. Use the link in the description to get $10 off your first lesson and start speaking with confidence today. Amazing Talker, the smarter way to learn any language. New York City, once the beating heart of global tourism, is now facing an unprecedented downturn. Broadway theaters sit empty, their marquees dark, and world-famous museums have closed their doors to visitors. Museum halls echo with silence, and iconic restaurants that once bustled with tourists now struggle to stay open. The ripple effect is devastating for the city's cultural and culinary scene. Hotel managers describe empty lobbies and record-low bookings, while city officials warn that the loss of international visitors threatens billions in revenue and thousands of jobs. With fewer tourists on the streets, New York's vibrant energy has faded. The city's future now depends on how quickly it can recover and adapt to this new reality. Hawaii's paradise is becoming less inviting, as deserted beaches and shuttered resorts paint a stark new reality. Visitor numbers have plummeted, especially from Japan and Canada, leaving hotels and restaurants struggling to survive. Local residents say the downturn is more than just economic, it's changing the spirit of aloha and threatening cultural traditions that rely on tourism. Environmentalists warn that while fewer tourists mean less strain on natural resources, the loss of tourism revenue also threatens vital conservation efforts. For an economy so dependent on visitors, the stakes couldn't be higher. The hospitality industry is facing layoffs, and local businesses are closing their doors. As the crisis deepens, communities across Hawaii are left wondering how to protect their culture, their environment, and their way of life. Arizona, home to the breathtaking Grand Canyon and iconic national parks, is facing a severe tourism crisis. Visitor spending has dropped nearly 7%, and international arrivals are down over 10%. Once busy parks now stand eerily empty, and the ripple effects are being felt statewide. Native American communities who rely heavily on tourism for income are especially hard hit. Tribal lands and cultural sites have seen visitor numbers plummet, threatening local businesses and heritage programs. Local festivals and events, once major draws for visitors, have been canceled or drastically scaled back. Streets that should be filled with music and celebration are now silent, leaving communities without vital seasonal income. Extreme heat, rising prices, and fierce competition from other destinations are pushing even more tourists away. Local businesses from hotels to restaurants are struggling to survive as foot traffic dwindles. Experts warn that without targeted support and creative recovery strategies, Arizona's tourism sector may not bounce back quickly. The economic ripple is spreading fast, and the future remains uncertain for one of America's most iconic travel destinations. Louisiana, and especially New Orleans, is in trouble. The heart of America's music and food culture is beating faintly as the tourism crisis deepens. Once crowded jazz clubs now echo with silence, and world-famous restaurants are shuttered, leaving chefs and musicians out of work. International visitors have dropped 20%, and with them the lifeblood of the city's vibrant food scene. Local restaurant owners share stories of canceled reservations and empty tables. Mardi Gras parades, once the soul of the city, have been canceled, devastating artists, float builders, and street performers who depend on the festivities for their livelihoods. Local artists and musicians who once filled the French Quarter with life now struggle to make ends meet. Many share stories of lost gigs and uncertain futures. This tourism collapse threatens more than 200,000 jobs, from hotel workers to tour guides, with business owners facing impossible choices. Locals are facing grim economic realities, but their resilience and spirit remain unbroken, hoping for the day when the music and crowds return to New Orleans. Missouri's tourism industry is facing a steep decline. In 2024, visitor numbers dropped by nearly 15%, with cities like St. Louis and Branson seeing empty streets and shuttered attractions. Once busy hotels now struggle to fill rooms, and iconic sites like the Gateway Arch report record-low attendance. Family-owned businesses, from restaurants to souvenir shops, are fighting to survive. Many owners say they've lost up to half their revenue compared to previous years. Interviews reveal deep concern for the future as layoffs and closures become more common. The economic impact is severe. Missouri's tourism sector lost an estimated $1.2 billion in 2024 alone. Rising costs and safety concerns are fueling a negative perception, making travelers think twice before visiting. Without a turnaround, Missouri's local communities and beloved attractions face an uncertain future. Illinois, with Chicago as its crown jewel, has suffered a 14% decline in international tourists. But the pain goes far beyond just fewer visitors. Chicago's world-famous convention industry is reeling, with major events canceled or scaled back, leaving massive venues empty and local businesses struggling to survive. Sports tourism, once a major draw, has also taken a hit as stadiums and arenas see fewer fans and canceled tournaments. Local events and festivals, vital for neighborhood economies, are being postponed or downsized, impacting everyone from vendors to performers. City officials warn that concerns over crime and high taxes are pushing budget travelers away, making recovery even harder. Event organizers and city leaders are sounding the alarm, calling for urgent action to save jobs and restore Illinois' reputation as a top destination. Hospitality jobs are disappearing, and famous landmarks are struggling to draw crowds post-pandemic. Texas's world-famous music festivals and cultural events, from Austin City Limits to San Antonio's Fiesta, are facing unprecedented cancellations and empty venues. The once vibrant festival grounds now sit silent, with local artists and organizers left in limbo. Restaurants across Texas, especially in cities like Austin and Houston, are closing their doors or struggling to survive. As one local chef puts it, "We used to serve hundreds every night. Now we're lucky to see a handful of customers." Local musicians are also feeling the pain. The stage lights are off and the crowds are gone, says a guitarist from Dallas. A tourism board representative adds, "Tourism is the heartbeat of our cities. Without it, everyone suffers." Despite heavy promotion, Texas faces an uphill battle to revive its tourism industry. The collapse of tourism in these 10 key states sends a chilling warning across the country. From the casinos of Nevada to the beaches of Florida and the streets of New York, the future of U.S. tourism hangs in the balance. What happens next could redefine how America welcomes the world, or if it can at all. If you found this video insightful, hit the like button, subscribe for more deep dives, and let me know in the comments. Which state's tourism crisis surprised you the most?